I live in a quiet neighborhood, mostly retired couples and young families. Nothing ever happens here. That's why what happened to me at 3 a.m. one Tuesday morning still messes with my head. I was asleep when I heard it, a knock at the front door. Not loud, just steady. 3 slow knocks. I sat up in bed, confused. I live alone, and no one comes by unannounced, especially not in the middle of the night. I looked at my phone, 3:07 a.m. At first, I thought maybe it was a neighbor with an emergency. I walked toward the living room, peeking through the hallway window, but I couldn't see anything. Another knock. Louder this time. I turned off the hallway light and approached the front door slowly. I didn't turn on the porch light. I just looked through the peephole. What I saw made my skin crawl. A man stood perfectly still on my porch. No jacket. Just a white t-shirt and jeans. He wasn't moving, wasn't looking around. He was staring directly at the peephole, like he knew I was there. I didn't open the door. I didn't say a word. I backed up and grabbed my phone to call the police. But before I could dial, he knocked again, and then said, "I know you're in there. Can I come in?" His voice was calm, like he was asking for a cup of coffee. I didn't respond. I moved to the kitchen and grabbed the biggest knife I had, heart racing. I live in a single-story house, and the back door is old, not the kind you want to depend on if things go bad. I crouched by the window and peeked again. He was still there, still staring, still waiting. Then he smiled, just a little, like he was enjoying the silence. I called 911 and whispered everything. The operator stayed on the line with me, telling me to remain hidden and quiet. That's when it got worse. He slowly stepped off my porch and walked out of view. I checked my backyard camera feed on my phone. Nothing. Then, I heard the gate creak. I froze, looked at the app again, and there he was, walking through my backyard. He tried the back door, then moved to the kitchen window, tapping. He didn't look angry, just calm, focused, like he'd done this before. I told the operator he was at the back. She said officers were 3 minutes away. I felt like that was an eternity. He circled the house 3 times, knocking on different windows, always whispering the same thing. "Let me in." Finally, flashing red and blue lights lit up the front of my house. He vanished into the dark before the cops could see him. They searched the area but found nothing. No fingerprints. No ID. One officer said this wasn't the first call like this. A few streets over, someone else had a similar encounter, but they had opened the door. The person was never found. I installed cameras, alarms, floodlights, but I still don't sleep right, because sometimes I wake up at 3:07 a.m. and hear a soft knock on my window.